The time has come to finally review a film in which the Caped Crusader of Gotham must go against the last son of Krypton.
Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here. So it is time for a brand new movie review today, and in today's video guys, I'm going to be reviewing what is the second installment of another franchise today, which of course is none other than the DC Extended Universe. Now, as you guys will know, last year I already reviewed this franchise to start, which is Man of Steel, so go check out that review. Today I'm going to be reviewing its follow-up, a continuation, which is sort of a sequel to it, but also a crossover with another DC superhero. And that film, of course, guys, is none other than 2016's Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. So this film, guys, now, how was this film made? So, this film is a follow-up to the 2013 film Man of Steel. It was announced at the 2013 San Diego Comic-Con after the release of Man of Steel, and was directed once again by Zack Snyder. He stated that the film would take inspiration from a Batman comic book series called The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, but clarified that it would follow an original premise. And it would also feature a brand new version of Batman, a cinematic reboot of the character. And the film is also inspired by narrative elements from the death of Superman. And pre-production began in East Los Angeles College in October 2013, and principal photography started in May 2014 in Detroit. Additional filming also took place in Illinois and New Mexico, concluding that December. The film premiered at the Auditorio Nacional in Mexico City on March 19, 2016, and was released in the United States on March 25, 2016. Following a strong debut that set new box office records, the film experienced a historic drop in its second weekend and never recovered. Despite grossing $873.6 million worldwide, making it the 7th highest grossing film in 2016, it performed below expectations and received generally unfavourable reviews from critics. They did, however, release an extended cut called the Ultimate Edition, which featured 31 minutes of the runtime and was better received by critics, including me personally. When it comes to my reaction to this film, guys, now, I unfortunately did not have a chance to see this film at the cinema because the year that this film came out, I was really busy doing exams. So I unfortunately didn't have time to go see it at the cinema, unfortunately, so I was really busy. So I waited until the film got released onto DVD, and I picked it up from the store. This was the theatrical version. When I saw it, I thought it was decently good, in my opinion. But in my opinion, not as good as Man of Steel, because I feel there was some plot holes in it, in my opinion, on the theatrical version. And I feel there was many inconsistencies which didn't really work properly, to be honest. And I can see why the film didn't have much good reviews because of that reason. However, though, I did, however, see the Ultimate Edition because I have it in this Blu-ray steelbook of a movie, which of course includes it, of course, in 3D, and also the Ultimate version too, and just the regular version on Blu-ray. Upon seeing the Ultimate version, however, I must say that I now, however, absolutely love Batman vs. Superman, and I consider the Ultimate version to be the true version, as far as I'm concerned. It's the only version I can accept. So I think it's the superior version, and in my opinion, what we should have had in the cinemas instead, really. Similar to what I think of a Snyder Cut, which of course is what I'd say is the true follow-up to this movie. So that's what I'd say. Now, what is this film about? So this, of course, is the first live-action film to feature Batman and Superman together, as well as the first live-action cinematic portrayal of Wonder Woman. And in the film, the criminal mastermind Lex Luthor manipulates Batman into preemptive battle with Superman, who Luthor is obsessed with destroying. So, when it comes to what I think is good about this film, so the film has a great cast of actors. So, the title character, one of them, of course, which is Batman, is played in this by Ben Affleck. And even in both versions of the film, I think Ben Affleck was an amazing choice for Batman, and I would regard him as my favourite live-action portrayal of the character because I think he did a really amazing job playing the character, and I really enjoyed him. He's also proved that you can cast an actor in his 40s as Batman because he was in his 40s when he played the character, and I think he was definitely a great choice for a role, despite being in his 40s. Because I think he looks and sounds a part of both Batman and Bruce Wayne, in my opinion, and I think he was definitely really great in the role. Especially, of course, in his action scene as well as the character. We see lots of really cool action moments. Especially in the Ultimate Edition, which I was disappointed weren't in the theatrical version. Because I personally think the Ultimate Edition is superior for many of these reasons involving Batman's fight scenes. Because compared to the theatrical version, which was rated 12 for me in the UK, the Ultimate version actually has a 15 rating as well as a 12 rating. So it definitely goes a lot darker, which I definitely really appreciated it doing. Especially thanks to Batman's fight scenes. Also, as well, returning from Man of Steel is Henry Cavill, reprising his role, of course, as the last one of Krypton himself, Superman. And I think that he once again gave an amazing performance as a character. He was a perfect casting for a part, and as I've said many times, guys, Henry Cavill deserves better because I, to this day, am still absolutely furious that he got fired from a role because he had the chance to come back in a sequel to Man of Steel and he never got it, which I'm very angry about. So yeah, in my opinion, he deserves better. In this film, he still gave an amazing performance, nonetheless, as Superman, once again coming back to that role. Also returning from Man of Steel as well is Amy Adams as Lois Lane, and once again I thought she was a great casting for a role, and I really enjoyed her scenes in this, especially her interaction with Clark Kent as well. And also returning as well is Diane Lane, returning as Martha Kent as well. I think she was once again great as her. Definitely great casting for a role. And I also, as well, definitely once again love the return of Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. And definitely love to see the side of him where he's of course ordering Clark Kent around just like in the comics, which was really cool. And Lawrence Fishburne, great actor, one of my favourites, just really great as Perry. And when it comes to other new characters who are introduced in this as well, we of course also introduced, of course, to Lex Luthor, who is of course played by Jesse Eisenberg. Now, I know many people say that he was a miscast for a role, and I can see why, because, I mean, my favourite Lex Luthor, in case you guys are wondering, in live action, is Gene Hackman from the Christopher Reeve movies. But my favourite of all time, though, is Clancy Brown in the DC animated universe, because, for those who don't know, I personally prefer DC in animation and video games over live action, for me personally. So, I can see why people regard Jesse Eisenberg as a miscast, but personally, I didn't really mind him as Lex Luthor. I thought he did his best with what he had. And the thing about the character Lex Luthor is, he has a similar personality to how he had in the comics, really, so I guess that made sense for him, and I can also accept him in this case because Jesse was young when he first played the part, so I'm sure if he was older, like in nowadays, I'm sure he'd probably play a much better version, possibly. So, there is that chance, but my favourite role of Jesse will always be Columbus in the Zombieland films, but I didn't really mind him as Lex Luthor, though. Also as well, introducing this is also as well Bruce Wayne's loyal butler, Alfred Pennyworth, who is played by Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons is a great actor, and I consider Alfred Pennyworth to be one of my favourite roles of his of all time. My favourite role of his will always be Scar in The Lion King, but I still think that as Alfred, he was great as him, and I think he gave a really amazing performance in this, and you can definitely tell he's very loyal to Bruce in his scenes with him. It's interesting because Bruce is actually the only character we see Alfred interacting with. He never interacts with any other characters, which I think is very interesting. I mean, it makes sense because he's Bruce's butler, so of course he interacts with Bruce. Absolutely. We also got an appearance as well from Holly Hunter as well, in this as the Senator, which was pretty cool. So I like how we got to see Elastigirl from Incredibles in this, which was pretty cool. Yeah, definitely really love seeing her in this, and I thought she was good at what she was given. And also introduced in this was also Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. So not only do we get Batman and Superman, we also get Wonder Woman, which was really cool. I definitely love that. So that was definitely really cool that she made her appearance in this as well. And Gal Gadot is an absolute legend, and Wonder Woman will always be my favourite role of hers. And I definitely think in her debut she was brilliant as her, and just really cool to see. And I consider Gal to be my favourite Wonder Woman in live action, and I think she was definitely great as her. In terms of supporting roles as well, We also as well got Harry Lennox reprising his role as well for Man of Steel as of course Calvin Swanwick, which was really cool to see. So I definitely liked how he came back in this as well. Maybe he deserved more screen time though, but it was nice to see him though. And we also as well got a scene as well where of course Clark has a vision where he remembers his father Jonathan Kent, which was nice to see, and Kevin Costner reprises his role for it. As a fun fact as well, that's also Kevin Costner's first ever sequel he's done in his career, which is really cool, despite only being in that one scene. And at the start of the film, we also as well got an appearance from Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohan appearing as Bruce's parents, Thomas and Martha, which was really cool. It's pretty cool how you have Walking Dead actors, you know, who are Negan and Maggie in that show playing Bruce's parents, which is really cool. And they're definitely good castings, you know, in terms of, you know, live story comics, especially Thomas, in my opinion. And we even got a voice from Patrick Wilson, who of course would later play Ultramaster in the Aquaman movie, playing the President of the United States, which is really cool. And we also as well got to see Michael Cassidy playing Jimmy Olsen as well, which is really cool. We got to see Jimmy in this. And when it comes to other roles to in this, we also got somewhat of an important role from General Zod, but he of course appears in this as a dead body. And what's actually cool is, despite of course the likeness to Michael Shannon, they actually did not use him at all for any of the filming for that, because he instead was created using the physique of a fitness model called Greg Plitt, and using a headshot of Michael Shannon's face. So that wasn't even Michael Shannon appearing as Zod's dead body, so that was definitely very impressive. The other thing Michael Shannon did for Raw was, like, you know, voice work for, like, Zod's screams, which was what he did. You can hear in the movie. And we also as well got cameo appearances as well by other members of the Justice League as well. So we got to see Ray Fisher appearing, of course, as Cyborg, alongside his father, played by Joe Morton, playing Silas Stone as well. And we also as well got Jason Momoa making his debut as Aquaman as well. And also as well, we got the appearance of Barry Allen as the Flash, played by an actor I dare not speak of on these videos anymore, because he's now my most hated actor of all time, who I'm not going to mention at all. Screw him all away. And so, yeah, all in all, the film has a really good cast of actors, and all good things in my opinion. So the story, in my opinion, is pretty good, especially in the Ultimate Edition. I'm talking about the Ultimate Edition, guys. The theatrical version, in my opinion, is very mediocre and disappointing. I can see why people hated it. But when it comes to the theatrical version and the Ultimate Edition, I think the Ultimate Edition is much better because it helps answer questions and it adds more to the story, because it's half an hour of extra footage, and in my opinion, it worked really well and was definitely necessary to help explain things, really, which was really good, because in the theatrical version, it was also in plot holes. And the action scenes, in my opinion, are also good too, such as Batman's fight scenes. And I definitely love the introduction, of course, where we got to see the destruction of Metropolis from Man of Steel from Bruce Wayne's point of view, which was really cool. I definitely love seeing that. And also as well, when it comes to my first scene in the film, guys, it is most definitely Batman's fight in the warehouse when he's rescuing Martha. That, in my opinion, was just brilliant, and the choreography in that was sick and just absolutely epic to see. Just absolutely brilliant. And it definitely reminded me a lot of the Batman Arkham games to it in terms of the choreography. It was just fantastic, in my opinion. Just definitely, in my opinion, the best scene of this movie. I also as well definitely really love the scenes which were hinting towards the nightmare, which of course was setting up the Justice League movies, with of course Darkseid and Apocalypse and his parademons. And that was definitely really cool. And there's also one thing about Batman in this which I really do appreciate, being that he never showed any signs of giving up, because in the Metropolis scene, I love how when the building which of course his co-worker Jack is in, which he unfortunately gets killed in during Zod and Superman's fight, I love how despite the building collapsing, Bruce runs to it, not afraid of the smoke or the collapsing debris. He's just not afraid, and I definitely really love that about Bruce. And also as well, in the nightmare scene as well, I love how despite being subdued by the parademons and the soldiers, but Batman kept trying to fight them, and even when he was getting subdued, he was down on their necks. So, like, wow, he wasn't giving up, and he wasn't stopping. So even despite being subdued, he still didn't want to give up. So yeah, Batman was just absolutely ruthless in this movie, especially in the Ultimate Edition. And for what it's also worth as well, but the fight with Superman is also, in my opinion, good too, I might say as well. And very well done. And the visuals in this, in my opinion, are also visually stunning as well, I might say. And definitely, in my opinion, holding up to this day 7 years later, in my opinion. And in terms of other villains, I love how it's almost introducing another villain, of course, which is Doomsday, who is created using the DNA from Zod's body and from Lex's own DNA, and was played via voice and motion capture by Robin Atkin Downs. And I think Robin did a great job playing Doomsday in motion capture, doing all the vocal effects for him, which is definitely brilliant in my opinion. So, yeah, the film in my opinion is really good, especially the Ultimate version. I think the Ultimate Edition is the true version I can accept. And I love how it also included scenes hinting towards the future, such as, of course, the scene where Lex Luthor sees, of course, a hologram Steppenwolf, which was a great set of the Justice League. And what's also great as well about this is also, in my opinion, the musical score, which is composed by both Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. Those two in this film gave an absolutely amazing soundtrack, which makes me not hate the film. I think their music was just brilliant to listen to and just so much fun to listen to too, I might say. Just really great soundtrack, which makes me love the movie. And so, in my opinion, guys, the Ultimate Edition is the one I can accept in terms of a story, because I thought the theatrical version just missed so many important things, which made me think it was disappointing. Ultimate Edition I do love, though, so I can see why people didn't like the theatrical version. I can totally understand why. However, when it comes to bad qualities I do have with this movie, so I might say that personally, while I did like the fight between Batman and Superman, I do feel that, in my opinion, it was way too short, because the title is Batman vs Superman, yet they have a very short fight scene, doesn't last that long. So I really wish it could have been longer, and would have probably been the focus for most of the film, and was runtime pretty much, but unfortunately, their fight was just too short, in my opinion, just like one scene just done, really. And then, of course, we get the revelation from Batman that Superman is not a villain, he's a good guy. And then, of course, he joins forces with him to stop Luthor. And another thing I also didn't like about this was also, in my opinion, the marketing for it, because it's unfortunately spoiled that Batman and Superman would, of course, join forces when Wonder Woman was revealed, because they weren't fighting, they were joining with her to fight. So I do feel that the marketing spoiled lots of important plot points which should have been kept secret until the film was released. So, yeah, that was, in my opinion, disappointing. And when it comes to Superman dying in this, of course, this was, of course, like homage to, of course, Superman Doomsday. And I kind of saw it coming because he's been killed by Doomsday before, right? So I kind of saw it coming. But when it comes to his death, though, I kind of feel that it was unfortunately a pointless move, because he was already confirmed to be appearing in Justice League after this. So that, in my opinion, was not a really good move. They should have probably, kept his involvement in Justice League a secret, really, to be honest. So yeah, because obviously in Justice League he comes back resurrected. So I do feel that it was disappointing how they, of course, killed him off, despite him being confirmed to be appearing in the next DCU movie, of course, to feature the Justice League team. So more the plot, all about qualities with the film, guys. And of course, the theatrical version, in my opinion, is disappointing because it cuts out lots of important points. And I don't like how it torn on the violence too, because that's not what you're supposed to do in DC. Because DC is not for kids; it's for everyone, not just children. So it should have been dark, for crying out loud. That's what Zack Snyder thankfully got right in terms of the darkness, thankfully. All in all, guys, I think Batman vs Superman is a great movie. The Ultimate version, I will say, what to me is the true version I can accept. So, if I was to give both cuts of the film a score out of 10, I would personally give the Ultimate Edition a very solid score of 9 out of 10. As for the theatrical version, I'd probably give it a mediocre 6 out of 10, because it cut out lots of important plot points which I was disappointed about, and it toned down the violence too, and just disappointing, really, I might say. I can see why people hated it. So, you know, drill, guys. This is me doing my review for Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, specifically the Ultimate Edition of that movie. So, you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to tell us in the comments what you guys think about Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. If you've seen it, comments below what you think. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe in this coming future. If you'd like to remember, you can respond using a peace letter or your subscription, and I'll see you all later.